Welcome to the 10 Acre Woods. My name's Mark, and this is Toby, our West Highland White Terrier. This is Maggie, excited Maggie. And of course, Atlas, we can't forget you. So this is part 2 of the farm tour. I made a farm tour and found out it was way too long, so I decided to split it into 2 sections. If you want to click on the link up in the top there, you can go back and watch the first half and then come back here and we'll see the alpaca, the sheep, the goats, and the ponies. So let's get started. I'm on my way back in search of animals. So this is the nice little forested area we have in the back. And it's been kept pretty clean by the animals. So they'll trim up. If you notice, there's leaves up higher, but there are none down lower. So what will happen is the goats will trim the higher stuff primarily, and the sheep will tend to stay down closer to the ground, and they keep this nice little canopy. So in this back corner, we have the 2 pigs. So we have Piper here, the black one, and we have Petey, which is over there. They came in a few years ago, very overweight. They are looking great now. Hi. How you doing, girl? Hi. She's a little bit better for petting. She's looking for food right now. They are pot-bellied pigs, and they are considered a micro-nano pig. So if you're looking for a micro-nano pig, it won't quite fit in your purse, but this is one. Any pig that's under 150 pounds when full grown. And these 2 are probably just under that. Now Petey, he's a little bit of a whiner. He's kind of a loner. He doesn't really care for people too much, and he tends to whine. Are you gonna come and see me, buddy? Hi. You can see his tusks on the side. Hey, are you gonna let me pet you? Are you gonna let me No, you're not. Oh, you're such a baby. So an important thing is to give them space. So we don't want to force it on them. That's part of their recovery. When they come in, they're scared of humans. If it takes years, then that's what it is. Now let's see, are you gonna let me pet you today? Usually you can. Tara says I have to call you beautiful. Oh, you're such a beautiful girl. Oh, you're such a No, see, it doesn't work for me. It works for Tara. All right, I'll let you to it. We got to go find some other animals, the alpacas, sheep, and goats. So on my journey to find the other animals, I heard a ticking noise. And what that means is it's the electric fence. So I came over towards the sound. And sure enough, oh look, there's the wire there if you can see it, and it seems to be coiled up on the ground here and around the tree. So something happened. It looks like it got pulled off. It's kind of the middle wire there. But you can, if you hear the clicks, that is how often the fence charger zaps. So if you're touching it in between there, you're not going to get zapped. But if you touch it when it zaps, you're going to get it. So what I'll have to do is I like to shut off the fence before repairing that. So I'll shut it off. It can stay here for a little bit. I'll come back to it. It's going to draw down the fence, but the animals are pretty respective about the fence. The area that we have coming into the back, this was kind of the old fencing unit, which I talked to Tara that we could probably pull this right back because they can go on either side of this. This is the smaller area, and then there's a larger area that goes way back to the far property line, and this is the opening here that they go through. And somebody might have tried to jump the fence a little early and pulled it down. All right, so the first stop on our trek to the back are the alpacas. If you look forward here, you'll see Paula, the alpaca. Barry is off here to the left. We have Marley, which is Paula's little boy. Not so little anymore. And then we have Shanzi over there. Now, these 3 Shanzy, Pauline, and Marley came in. Was it last year? I guess it was last spring. We wanted to get Barry a buddy. So we decided to look on ads, and we found alpaca for $100. So we went to the farm. Tara headed down there, and when she saw the condition they were in, she said, well, can I take all 3 of them? They had hair going down essentially to the ground. Shanzy's teeth here were up to her nose, essentially. And let's look at your face. No, they're still a little skittish. If you have food, especially green peas, snow peas, they will definitely be your friend, especially Barry. But we give them their space as well, and then just hand feed them at times. We don't encourage hand feeding when we're open to the public. And we limit it to only a few people because we don't want them going up to people, especially the goats and sheep, and jumping on people. So when we feed them, it's usually on the ground. These guys are an exception. We do hand feed these guys because we're not too concerned about these ones coming up and jumping on people. They just walk up to you and give you a weird look. That's about it. So those are the alpacas. The next couple animals are on our adventure is little Lucy. Little Lucy is 4 or 5 years old, I think now. And she was, we called her Junkyard Mama. And Junkyard Mama was essentially a goat that came in from a yard that just looked like a junkyard. Hi. So her and her brother, Josh, they surprised us. We didn't even realize that Junkyard Mama was pregnant. And so Lucy came out, and Josh or Joey, one of the two. Now, after a little bit, they started losing use of their legs. And what that meant is it was something called white muscle disease, which is a selenium deficiency. So she didn't have the prenatal nutrition that she should have had, and after a while her kids were weak. We gave them both selenium vitamin E injections. Lucy made it. Her brother unfortunately did not. But she is, she's a little stunted, she's a little special, she's got small little horns, and she is unofficially the world's smallest living adult goat. Then we have Hannibal. So we didn't shear Hannibal this year just because, well, he's an older boy, and his wool isn't growing quite as fast as the other ones. So we wanted to make sure that he was nice and healthy, and Hannibal likes to eat. Hi, Hanny. Hungry Hanny. I think that's what we're starting to call them. So he's busy doing his thing. Hannibal came in last year because he, his mate, Clarice, she had passed away, and he went for about a year, and he was just getting very depressed. He had heaves from breathing in hay that had some dust in it. He coughed repeatedly. So by putting him on some nice clean hay, and of course look at him go on the grass, he has made a complete recovery, with the exception of on the very small occasion he will cough. But when he first came in, it was repeated coughing to a time where we were concerned about him having a prolapse on his back end. So he's doing great. So we, when he was in here, we started thinking about a week after. We thought, oh, did they bring him just for him to pass away here? Because he was not in good shape. But we got him going, and did what we could, and a lot of times things may look really grim, but a little bit of love, a little bit of good food, and they'll make a full recovery. The alpacas, they have poop spots. So they've got certain poop spots they go in. They're little bathrooms, and they don't just go randomly wherever they choose like goats do. And I was just walking through, and here's one of the poop spots. So the nice thing about alpaca poop is You can use it as a fertilizer. It makes a really good fertilizer, and you can use it first year, so it's not going to burn like horse and cow manure will, and even possibly goat. So the next group of animals here are the ponies. I just have to make sure. We're going to be clearing out some of this stuff. We've got a bunch of adult volunteers coming out, and we're going to focus on this area here to clean it up kind of more like the other side. So here's Willow. Hi, Willow. Now I realized something. You can see the, it's called a medicine hat. Now, she's going to walk away. Yeah, where's your baby? Where's Meadow? And there goes Auntie Shadow. I guess, I'm guessing that Meadow is with the goats, but it's strange that she's not around Mom and Auntie. So we'll move on to the goats. You guys aren't making this easy. You're all over the place. Here's Snow, and this is Snow's little boy, and his name is Scotty. And then she has another one that doesn't, I believe doesn't have a name. It's a white one. And I can see kids over there. I can see one over there. Actually, this isn't so bad out here. It looks like this is where all the goats are. Snow's just off to her side. So this black and white one here is Blackie's little girl, and there's Blackie. Blackie's little girl doesn't have a name. People had suggested Oreo. It's not quite an Oreo because it's kind of more patchy, not the white and black like an Oreo cookie. Then we have this one here, I believe is Scotty. As they grow older, it's starting to get a little tougher to determine the white ones, because the white ones have the facial markings that go up to the horns and the stripe down the back. And we've had numerous ones this year. Oh, there's a good example of them getting the higher leaves. Trying to get those few little leaves there. What else do we have? We have Billie Jean, which is right here, and this is Petunia's little one. And we have, yeah, so that's the other one's Spock. This one here doesn't, I believe doesn't have a name, but has, whoa, there we go, but has an owner. Most of them are adopted out. I think Billie Jean is the only one that's not. And then the black one here, is that the black one with the head, the white on the head? No, it's just a little bit of white on the head. So this one here is a little girl, and this little girl doesn't have a name either. So this is Blackie's little girl. Okay, let's move on over here and see Bronwyn. And I believe Nemo. Nemo's the little gray one over here. Little kid. And so we have Bronwyn, which she is the brown one right here. She's like a Dorper cross. She's a haired sheep, so she doesn't need to be sheared. And whose bum is that? That looks like, is that Turbo? That's Turbo. We've got the three kids there. Where is Meadow? We're gonna have to go find Meadow, unless she was up front. So these are the kids. There's Coco. Yeah, so let's go circle back and find the ponies and little Meadow. I'm surprised that she wasn't with the moms, or the mom and Auntie, and she's not with the goats here. So hopefully everything is okay. Now my guess is Willow and Shadow heard Meadow, something that I didn't hear. So I saw them in the barn here. And sure enough, there's little Meadow there. So she might have been up here at one point. I'm not quite sure. Maybe we missed her. I don't know, you can always go back through the video and see if you can spot her because she snuck past somehow. So as I was talking about the pattern, so there's a shield, a chest shield on the front of Willow here, and then there's the hat, or the medicine hat as it's called. So it was a very interesting read. It's a mostly white horse with very few patchiness, and of course the hat and shield are two of the distinguishing markers with a medicine hat, as well as the blue colored eye, which she has and Meadow also has. So she's got the blue eye. Willow, Willow. Let's see your eye, Willow. Oh, look at the blue eye. Can we see the blue eye? Hey? And then the little one. She's got a blue eye as well. So they are eating salt. Chewing salt. We should probably get some powdered salt. We did it one time, but it hardened up into a block. Powdered salt is better for horses because they don't have to chew or grind the salt, which is the block. And they should have salt because it helps them from dehydrating during hot summer days. The salt will allow more absorption or faster absorption of water into the body. So there we go. We have Willow, we have a little Meadow, I was going to say Mellow, Mellow Meadow, and we have Shadow. Now, of course, these two, and Levi, the three of them came in last spring. Now, we were keeping an eye on the two girls because, of course, Levi was not fixed. So, of course, Willow had, but Shadow had not. So, we're looking at the 23rd of June. We were going to give it till the first week of July, which would have been the time that if Levi had his way, then she would have a foal. But when they came in, between the time them coming in and Levi being gelded, these girls were very pushy towards him. He was a rambunctious little boy, and I remember Shadow and Willow, both of them, nipping at him because he was such a pain. One of the last stops on our journey is our hay storage barn. This is where we keep our hay. We have another, I believe it's 800 more bales on order. We picked up some hay this spring. This is the new stuff that we picked up. I believe it was 160 bales or so. And this is from last year and 2 years ago. So we're going to be filling this completely up, but it's not all going to fit. So we are going to move a few things around here and then likely store and tarp it out here is the plan. Anyway, we don't want to run out of hay. This year was a really tight year because the last couple of years was so dry. So we want to make sure we always have some on hand. Now, moving up into this area, it's quite grown in. This is one of the areas that we have our horses or larger animals. So this gets back to biosecurity. So this is one of our biosecurity pens. It is isolated away from the other main compound. And when we get larger animals in, we bring them into this area here. We assess them, we make sure everything is good, and also by working with a company or a nonprofit called Rural Animal Management Services, they are essentially the country pound. And what happens there is we take animals in, which we haven't had one in this year, but they would go into this area, or we have a smaller area for the smaller animals up towards just on the side by our play structure area. So we've got two isolation or biosecurity pens that we put them into, 7-day hold. If nobody claims the animal within 7 days, then they get moved into they'll get further assessed, and then if we decide to move them into our other area or hold them for any longer, or sometimes they get rehomed right away. So there's a kind of a combination going on there. So the last area on our journey of the farm tour is the hay garden, the straw garden, the Bale garden. So here is the potatoes, which are, they're coming up really nicely. So it'll be exciting to get some fresh veggies. Some onions down here, some peas. Those are growing up nicely. Looks like some tomatoes in there. And our salad bar looks like it's doing pretty good. So this is just kind of a mixture of different lettuces and radish and whatnot. Actually, we do have some radish that's over here. So these are red tail radishes that are growing there. More peas, lots of peas. Peas are great, the snow peas. And I think she's got everything growing. I believe this is watermelon over here. So the idea was that it was going to grow up and grow down kind of up and over this to try to make use of some vertical space so that it's not all laid out. So there's lots of area along there for watermelon. And I believe a lot of this is watermelon. Let's look at the cute little labels. Assorted beans. Okay, so there's beans there as well. I don't think she made ones up for the watermelon, but she said she planted a lot of watermelon. So that is the straw bale garden. Now she waters once a day in the evening, and then the bales hold that moisture. People have asked us, they said, well, can you reuse them every year? For sure. From what we understand, this is our first year doing this, but once you use it, the bale will slowly start to decompose over time, and that's just good for all that carbon material for the garden. So as it decomposes, it gives all those nutrients back to the plants. So yes, as far as we know, you can continue to use it for years to come. So we'll see how it goes. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed our animals, and maybe even learned something. If you have any questions, please put them below down in the comment section. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. I'll play a video that I did the other day on I put it on Facebook and Instagram, which you can go visit that. Links below down in the description. A video of the garden, a little flyby I did. Tara wanted a montage put together, so you can view that. And we will see you next week. Take care, and have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.